Good morning, y'all. It's spring. Spring is here. Here's to hope it beats Corona. Currently in the city of Leeuwarden, the north of the Netherlands. And this drive is going to take us all the way to the village near Amsterdam. So what that entails basically is a roughly 2-hour drive, more or less the same road I rode on my previous video, on my previous live stream on this channel. But instead of it being an afternoon drive, now it's an early morning drive. So you get to look at it from the other side. Right now we're driving on the ring road of Leeuwarden. The ring, or the Noordweg, rondweg. De North Ring, de noordelijke rondweg. Doggies. There's a car behind me. I think it's an old police car from somewhere. Another Dutch police car. I think it's something American. It has red lights on top instead of blue ones. Should be interesting if it overtakes us. It also seems to have one of those Night Rider things in the center of the hood. So if it overtakes us, it would make an interesting sight, perhaps. but I don't think it's one of those guys who's really the in the need for speed right now. He's taking it easy. Someone overtook him, so he's not directly behind us anymore, but he's still on this road. I don't know. If he follows us out, it might be a moment for him to overtake us. No, he's not following us out of the city. Unfortunately, we don't get to see him on video. But yeah, guys, we're leaving Leeuwarden, the city of Leeuwarden, right now. And I know the audio is kind of crap, as my phone automatically connects to Bluetooth, and that connects to my car kit. So what you're basically hearing is what someone would hear when they were calling me on the phone. Good morning, Matt. Welcome. I hope you'll enjoy the ride. It's mostly motorway, as we are leaving the city of Leeuwarden and heading on over to the west of the Netherlands, in the greater Amsterdam region. So please enjoy. And that was the city of Leeuwarden. I see, Matt. Yeah, COVID is doing that to everybody. It's really crap. I hope now that spring has commenced, it will help in fighting COVID, at least for now. So, yeah, the travels can start up again, slowly but surely. Australia. Oh wow, you're on the other side of the world. You must be looking at the sunset right about now, or perhaps it's already night. Yeah, here is it's just daylight. The sun hasn't really risen. I think we're still looking at at the dawn period. Now, of course, this isn't really a captivating day. It's mostly overcast, a bit hazy in the distance, but that's no biggie. It's decent weather for a drive. So that's what we'll do. 3:50 p.m. Oh, then you'll still have daylight left. Too bad for the rain, though. Although it's good for nature Personally, I prefer dry weather, at least when I'm outside. Not one of those people who's like singing in the rain. Though I might have done such a thing in the past at one point in my life. But I'm not entirely sure about that anymore. Quickly overtake this truck before I'm overtaken and locked in between. As we're adhering to the speed limit, but the person trying to overtake me isn't. There we go. Enjoy overtaking. Slowly but surely. There he is. It's a painter. Yeah, painters, constructors. They are always speeding. Well, always. Most of them are speeding. I guess I can understand that. When your drives turn into a drag, a daily drag, yeah, you're more likely to speed. I think that's something that's true all over the world, Matt. As far as speeding is concerned. Tradies, eh? Then you haven't seen the motorways in the Netherlands. You have a lot of speed cameras. This is the country that invented the speed camera. Still, people pretty much know every place they are located, including the mobile ones, as there's plenty of smart infrastructure notifying people of the location of the speed cams. So it still happens. Exactly. There's apps for that, and they tell you on the radio as well, which those tradies, as you call them, usually are tuned into as well. It's not really rainy right now, but my windscreen wipers are fooled into wiping this windscreen a bit. Let's clean it off. It's probably the haze in the distance. Alright, that helps. Right. Sometimes here in the Netherlands we also have the flooding when there's a lot of rain, but usually it's not that bad. The drainage systems here are quite well done, so Sometimes though, when there's like monsoon kind of rains, then they are, yeah, they just can't handle it. When even the storm drains can't handle them, then you see streets running over. Usually the motorways are spared from that as they are, well, pretty much every motorway in the Netherlands is on a dike, just a small dike, so it's always a meter or something above the level of land that's surrounding it. So yeah, even when the drainage doesn't work, it will simply run down the sides. Yeah, here the people are warned as well. They have this system with code yellow, code orange, code red, code black, code purple. So they are warning people as well not to drive in bad weather, but people still do. However, the code system, they warn quite early, even when the weather really isn't all that bad. So most people think to themselves, you can send out that warning, but usually it's not that bad as you say it will be. So we'll make the journey anyway, and we will just see what happens. So that's what usually happens. Passing by Franeker, the city of Franeker to the left. Not there's really much to see except for a line of trees. As a natural defense against the motorway sounds. And there's something that's more like a sound wall. There they go again. Yeah, Haarlem is the smallest town of them, even though it is the capital of the province of North Holland. Haarlem itself is quite small, so it's very easy to get around in, easier than Utrecht or Amsterdam. Though when compared to the major cities in the world, even those cities are small. They're like global villages. The brownish sign we just passed says we just entered in the Waddenzee region. There's a little bit of drizzle coming down now, so we didn't keep it dry, unfortunately. Here's to hoping it will stop soon. They didn't predict drizzle or rain. I didn't quite catch that as I was minding the road, Matt, but something about you being there 2 years ago. Anyway, 2 years ago, then the memories are still fresh enough, I'd say, even though you're used to coming every year. But 2 years ago ain't all that bad. Probably gonna have to add another year to that, the way the world is going right now. Yeah, this year, it could be possible, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I guess most depends on the effectivity of the vaccine. So we're closing in on the city of Hurlingen now. Hurlingen is a coastal city. As you can see, a little bit to the right of this road, there's a bridge opening up. But as far as we are concerned, we are diving below the water. This is an aqueduct, so we don't have to wait for a bridge. No, this is like a river delta, the Netherlands. Most of it is below sea level. So yeah, it's really flat. Every hill you will see here is man-made. It's only halfway through the Netherlands, the half of the Netherlands where you will be starting seeing natural hills. Yep, I'm also very happy with the roads we have here in the Netherlands. Having driven in several other countries, usually the roads are quite crap. And here, yeah, they're well maintained, sometimes even too well maintained. You're like, hey, road works again? It was only a few years ago. And then they're already renewing the top layer of the tarmac. Still, you have the occasional bump here. Yeah, I guess that helps. To little people, then the effort of maintaining the road is, yeah, less cost effective, I guess. You see many people overtaking me, even though I'm driving the speed limit. But this is one of those routes where they usually don't check on the speed that much. So people, yeah, they keep driving along, saving half a minute at the end of the ride, perhaps. But at least they felt the adrenaline of speeding. Amsterdam is still 98 kilometers away. And what you see to the right here is a big dike. Behind that is the sea. I think it's the Waddenzee. As the North Sea, the North Sea only starts after the Afsluitdijk, which we will be passing, by the way. And there's more rain. Yep, we are on the metric system here. The sun is up, by the way, but it's in the rear to our left. I'm also speeding right now. Hey, goedemorgen, Bouwen. Welkom, welkom. Good morning. It's an early morning drive. Closing in on Zurich. Not the Swiss city of Zurich. No, this is just Zurich without the dots on the U. Speed limit here is 100 kilometers an hour. I think that translates to like 60 miles an hour. And during the daytime, from 6 in the morning till 7 in the evening, this speed limit of 100 kilometers an hour also is on the motorways. And there's a sign that actually is stating that to the left here and to the right as well. But that went by pretty fast, I guess. So yeah, we keep on driving 100 kilometers an hour. Good morning, Erik. Yes. A very early drive for me. But it's a good time for you people in the Far East to join in the live stream for a change. It's just past 7 in the morning, 7 a.m. We are leaving the motorway A31, merging onto the motorway A7. To the left is the IJsselmeer, the IJssel Lake, the largest lake in the Netherlands, and actually it's man-made, considering it used to be part of the sea. It used to be the Zuiderzee, I believe, the Southern Sea. But yeah, when they built the Afsluitdijk, yeah, they diked it off and the water slowly changed from salt water into, what do you call that? Sweet water? Well, you know what I mean. It's no longer salty. So it's effectively a lake now. Even though the flush gates, the sluizen, are open during the normal weather, but they are able to close it off completely when when the sea level is too high and the lake tends to be also too high, I guess, or too low. What would be logic here? Anyway, you lived in Lelystad, also next to the IJsselmeer. That's correct. All the way on the other side, though. Marken is inside the IJsselmeer, little island. Closing in on the flush gates here on the one side of the Afsluitdijk. And the speed limit here is 70 kilometers an hour. The Lorenzsluizen. It's the Frisian side of the Afsluitdijk. And as you can see on top of there, there's speed cameras that also register a license plate. So you have to adhere to the 70 kilometers an hour, or you will be fined. And that guy doesn't mind to be fined. He will be finding a surprise in his mailbox 6 weeks from now, or is it sooner nowadays? I'm not really speeding anymore. Not often anyways. So it's been multiple years since I last had my speeding, last speeding ticket. Back in those days it was, roughly 6 weeks, I think. And we're done with the... Nope. I won't crash and be half asleep. No. I'm nicely awake. We are now on the Afsluitdijk, driving 100 kilometers an hour. There's a lot of trawlers here in the IJssel Lake, in the IJsselmeer, fishing. So effectively, it really is a morning thing. Those lorries have to drive 80 or 90 kilometers an hour here in the Netherlands. I think it's 90. So, when driving 100 kilometers an hour, you have to overtake them. Well, you don't actually have to overtake them, but then you're stuck behind them driving also a lower speed. So it's common sense to overtake them anyway. No. She's behind me, Eric. I'm on the way to the village. Okay. I'm not really in the picture right now, but this is my breakfast, guys. A can of Coke. So I'm going to have a little can of Coke for breakfast, but I'll turn you back to the road, as that's more interesting to see than my belly. But good morning and bon appetit. Or cheers, I would rather have to say. What is an apple? A can of Coke? A Coke a day keeps the doctor away? that what you're trying to say? They are increasing the size, the height of the afsluitdijk on the side of the sea, as you can see here. It's quite a lot of work indeed. The sun is slowly starting to peek through this to the clouds. So picture here, the side is slowly starting to turn yellowish from the few rays of sun that make it through the clouds. Yes, they are afraid of flooding as the sea level is rising, of course. So slowly but surely they are increasing the heights of the parts they have to do maintenance on anyway. As it will be a monstrous operation if everything has to be height increased at once. Yeah, it is what it is, Matt. I've been living below sea level all my life, so I can't say I'm used to anything else. It's here. It works. Yeah. Under the sea, under the sea. I don't know the other lyrics. The dive from Lelystad to Enkhuizen is one I hardly ever cross. I think I've only driven once on that dike in my entire life. It's pretty much, yeah, not in any direction I have to go. How do you say that? It's at a 90-degree angle from the routes I usually drive. I usually drive like north-south directions, and that dike is pretty much east-west. I only start driving east-west directions from the height of Amsterdam or from the height of Leeuwarden. Usually not in between. So it's pretty much out of my spectrum how I would have to make a round along various addresses in the east and the west exactly on that line. That hardly ever happens. Yeah, living in Lelystad, it's a very normal place to drive along, of course. If I would be living along the line of that dike, I probably would use it quite often indeed. But no, usually you radiate outward from the place you live or the place you work, and not somewhere in between. In the distance, we are starting to see the monument of the Afsluitdijk, the place where the two parts joined, the Frisian part, which makes up like 3/4 of the dike, and the North Holland part, roughly a quarter of the dike. Not sure why North Holland only did like a quarter and Frisia did like 3/4 of the dike, but yeah, probably construction issues. They were meant to come together halfway, but that didn't work out. So anyway, here on the North Holland part of the Afsluitdijk, there's construction going on. The speed limit is 70 kilometers an hour. 5 more kilometers of road work ahead. And as this is a narrow lane, I won't be reading any comments along these roadworks, by the way, guys. So if you want to type something, go ahead and type it, but I won't be able to read it. Just saying. Traffic still is my #1 priority, even though I'm live streaming it. It's drizzling again, slightly. 4 kilometers to go along these roadworks. Three more kilometers to go. Perhaps North Holland just put these roadworks here to make their side of the Afsluitdijk seem longer and more in line with the other side of the Afsluitdijk, the Frisian side. But no, I don't think they would do that. That would be ridiculous. But the patching up of the roads could make with a complete new layer of tarmac anyway. As far as Dutch road quality is concerned, as you can see, it's a bit of a patchwork right now. So they'll be sure to take care of that once they are done. Even though the current patchwork doesn't even contain any potholes or anything. So even the bad roads here might be considered quite well compared to other parts of the world. And here the speed goes down to even to 50 kilometers an hour as we have oncoming traffic now. But these are the other flush gates, the other sluizen, the stave-in sluizen, which means that when passing these flush gates, we will have made it to the mainland of North Holland. Well, after this bridge then. So here we are on the mainland of North Holland. And it's also the finish for the roadworks. So let's get back to a normal speed again. 100 kilometers an hour? Yeah. Here we go. Still a bit of drizzle, guys. But we made it. We're on the other side. There's some wind turbines. Or windmills. But these are actually wind turbines generating electricity. Plenty of those in North Holland. (7:30 in the AM), and I think I have roughly an hour left of driving. Depending on traffic. Well, traffic is not all that bad now that these Corona times are here. is coming out slightly more. It's to our left. As we're pretty much driving a north-south route now. So with the sun in the east, the rising sun in the east. Yeah, it's morning. Wieringerwerf. Okay, Eric. Nice to have had you on the stream for a change. Have a good one. And hopefully until next time. Thanks, man. Will do. He's transporting windows or something. Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Middenmeer. They didn't forecast the rain. But yeah, what you gonna do, right? Amsterdam, 49 kilometers left. We will be going on slightly farther than that. The sun is breaking through. Connection. Ah, sunshine. Oh, nice. Closing in on the city of Horen. now between the cities of Hoorn and Purmerend. It's 7:52 in the AM. Definitely more busy on the road as we have passed Hoorn. So we're now in what's basically the morning rush hour towards Amsterdam. Purmerend, which means we are getting quite close to Amsterdam now. 14 more kilometers, according to that sign. Uh, shoulder is also available. It's just past 8 a.m. in the morning. So we're definitely in morning rush hour. And as you can see, weather really isn't all that bad. I mean, the traffic really isn't all that bad. Intersection Zaanstad, closing in on Amsterdam. We're now driving on the A8 motorway. And it's only several kilometers before we will hit the A10, the ring around Amsterdam. Oh boy, my God. My lane open. Yep, my lane is open. That's good. Stick around here. Intersection Koenplein. Where the A8 connects to the A10 motorway. The A10 is the motorway that's a ring around Amsterdam. And over here is the Koentunnel. Almost exiting the Koentunnel. We are continuing along the A5 motorway. As we are headed towards the village. In the distance you see Amsterdam Sloterdijk, the industrial zone, the commercial zone. Chipsoft. And there's a new dome-like thing. At least I think it's new. Never really noticed that before. The building below it, yeah, that was there, but the dome? No, I don't know. Over to the right, the Telegraaf, newspaper, the Telegraaf, their offices. And the lights are on. So they are busy gathering information to put in the newspaper. With Sloterdijk next to us. We're now continuing to Westpoort. Which is basically a continuation of the same industrial area. Aviodroom. Something like that. Yeah. Amsterdam Harbor is to our right, and the big steamy pipes are from Amsterdam's waste energy central, where they convert waste energy to, well, to energy anyway. Yeah, household waste and all that stuff is turned into energy, renewable energy. Otto Flick, allo, allo. So we're on the A5 motorway, which is part of Amsterdam's second motorway ring. They don't sign it as such, but Amsterdam, the city, considers it their second motorway ring. It's not a full ring though, but it surrounds like 3/4 of the city. The A5 and the A9 motorway. But it's not like the A10 that it has a dedicated road number as a ring road. And the A9 is the motorway we will be heading onto as we're closing in on the village. For the first time in this entire ride, which has been going on for almost 100 minutes, we're staring into the sun. But the sun's behind clouds. So the impact could have been worse, image-wise. We're still able to make out most of the road. Dorp, village. In the distance is Schiphol Airport. Probably too hard to make out, but yep. This piece of road, this stretch of road is soon to go. Might be one of the final times you're seeing it in my videos. Yeah, the village, Badhoevedorp. Here we are. Jammed between Amsterdam and Schiphol airports. And that concludes our ride for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As we arrive back in the village, it's time for me to start doing other things. Attend to work, for example. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon in another live stream. Hit like if you like this live stream. Cheerio!